in a jaw-dropping twist that's got the rap world in pure disbelief. Word on the street is that Lil Durk, out of sheer desperation and a growing sense of paranoia, has allegedly aligned himself with none other than Quando Rondo, all in a bold attempt to appease NBA YoungBoy and ensure his own safety amidst a storm of threats, unresolved tension, and deeply personal beef. Let that sink in for a second. Lil Durk, who spent years on the front lines of one of the most infamous and emotionally charged feuds in modern hip-hop, has reportedly reached across enemy lines to side with a man many believe was directly connected to one of the most traumatic moments in his life, the death of King Von. Now, if you're even remotely tapped into hip-hop culture, you know this isn't just some minor industry alliance. This is warfare. We're talking about layers of blood, loyalty, betrayal, and fear, all wrapped up in a narrative that spans cities, labels, and real-life consequences. So, how did we get here? How did one of the most respected figures in drill music go from dissing his enemies to allegedly making a play for their approval? Let's rewind the tape. Lil Durk has always been about loyalty, day one vibes, OTF for life, standing on business at all costs. After all, this is the man who carried King Von on his back, both figuratively and literally, and turned pain into platinum with hit after hit, after Von was murdered outside an Atlanta hookah lounge, allegedly following a scuffle with Quando Rondo's crew. It seemed like a line had been drawn in blood. There was no going back, no peace talks, no forgiveness. For years, Durk held the torch for Von. He dropped subliminal shots in his music, posted coded captions on IG, and refused to even entertain the idea of squashing the beef. It wasn't just music, it was personal, and the streets respected it. He was the voice of the voiceless, the general who kept the OTF army strong. Every verse felt like a war cry, every move strategic. But something changed. In recent months, those close to Durk have noticed a shift. The music got darker, the social media presence faded, the entourage got smaller, and most noticeably, the usual aggressive energy wasn't there. It was as if Durk was moving with caution, like someone who knew the walls were closing in. And behind the scenes, the word is clear, Durk's been shook. See, NBA YoungBoy might be thousands of miles away, but his reach? Impeccable. His influence? Unmatched. The Baton Rouge native has built a loyal, sometimes dangerously obsessed fan base who treat his beefs like gospel. And if you're on his bad side, it doesn't matter how many plaques you've got, you're a target. Durk knew that. He'd been living it. And as the YoungBoy machine kept gaining steam, with more music, more alliances, and more disrespect aimed directly at OTF, Durk reportedly started feeling cornered. No matter how much he tried to stay solid, he couldn't outrun the fact that the YoungBoy beef wasn't just lyrics anymore. It was a lifestyle war, and he was slowly running out of allies. So that's when things got weird. According to industry whispers and street sources, Durk allegedly reached out through a mutual connection, a southern plug who had ties to both camps, with a shocking proposal. He wanted to speak to Quando Rondo. Now, understand something. This wasn't about collaboration. This wasn't about music. This was survival. Durk was reportedly looking for a ceasefire, a chance to cool things down without having to beg directly at YoungBoy's feet. And in a world where ego runs everything, asking Quando, someone viewed as one of the catalysts of Von's death, for help was like crossing into forbidden territory. Still, he did it. Those same sources say the conversation was short, tense, but real. Quando Rondo, who's been fighting his own battles lately, both legal and on the streets, was reportedly open to the idea, not because he wanted to squash things, but because he knew that aligning with Durk would flip the whole narrative on its head and potentially earn him some leverage in his own rocky relationship with YoungBoy. So why would Durk make a move that, to outsiders, looks like a betrayal of Von and everything he stood for? The answer's as cold as it gets. Self-preservation. Durk's been under pressure. Increased security. Federal eyes. Internal drama. The recent attacks on his circle and the rising tension in Chicago have all added fuel to the fire. He's reportedly been getting pressure from higher-ups, both in the streets and the industry, to cool the situation before it escalates into something irreversibly violent. And in that kind of storm, even the hardest soldier starts thinking twice. So he did what he thought he had to do. He found a way to reach YoungBoy's world without kissing the ring. by using Quando as a middleman. Durk could test the waters, send a message, and maybe buy himself a little breathing room without fully compromising his image. But as expected, that plan backfired in the public eye anyway, because now the fans are confused. The streets are split. Some are saying Durk sold out, that he disrespected Vaughn's memory, that he's playing chess with a board that shouldn't be played with. Others are saying he's smart, that in this rap game, it's about survival, not emotion, that if the cost of being real is death, then maybe it's time to redefine what real even means. And let's be honest, Durk has more to lose than most. He's not